Right, thanks for joining me again in the shed. Been a little bit slow on the videos at the moment just because everything's got a little bit busier and I've got to pay the bills, so I've got to do stuff. Anyway, this is a nice little easy project. I've made one already which I'll show you at the end of the video, and I thought why not show you guys as well. If you guys are interested in the sizes or plans or anything else, please let me know and I'll see what I can do of getting some stuff together. If you want plans for anything that you've seen in any of my videos, please let me know, and like I say, I'll get something together for you guys. So this now is going to be a little wheelbarrow planter. It's going to end up being about that big. That's one of the sides. So I've templated it already because, like I said, I've already made one. So I thought I'd bring you along while I make the next one. They've proven to be popular, which is always good. So let me shut up and get cracking on. All out of pine is what it's going to be made of. I've got enough pieces here for me to basically template all the bits that I've got. Not happy with how the top of that's going to be, so I'm going to get a straight edge. I'll use this edge. I know this is straight. Almost forgot the wheel. So my next step now, basically just get all this cut out, get it all dry assembled, see what goes from there. Let me take you to the bandsaw. Now these parts, as you can see, I've put the outline on there for where the size I've got there, but I'm going to leave them a little bit chunkier because what I'm going to do is round over the edges, and I think they're a little bit better chunkier. Alright, we're back with everything roughed out now. Quite literally, it's all still needs a little sand over, but that's all roughly done. So the next thing I do is use my Forstner bits. Use my Forstner bits to drill the hole out for where the spindle will go for the axle. But I do drill that at an angle just because once it's together, these will be in almost like a V shape. More sort of how a traditional barrel would have been. So I want the axle to sit straight, so the wheel sits straight. Obviously to do that, I need to drill these at an angle. So I can get you over here now to see that. Now it's all a bit of a pulpy. It's not a Forstner bit I'm using, it's a spade bit. A 25mm one, because that's what works for the dowels that I've got. Let's go. There's one thing to bear in mind when you're doing this, because of the way the axle will go through. Obviously these are opposites, so bear in mind, or mark out even should I say, right and left, and then mark the hole on the correct side of where you're drilling, because you don't want to end up with two for the same side. Be a bit of a wonky barrow. They're perfect for me though. So one of my other chores will be cut down a bit of dowel. This is not the dowel that I'm actually using. There's the dowel that I've got. It does fit sweet, so it may work. So that's how they'll sit, like that. As you can see, because of the angle, they won't give any other way. Now obviously for the wheel, it doesn't have to be bang on. You just want it close enough. That is actually a good fit. So that would be on there like that. Right, so I think the camera shut down on me again as I was doing it. All fun and games, eh? But I'm sure most of you guys out there know how to put a box together. That's pretty much all this top bar is. It's just a butt joint, a couple of screws inside, and then the base as well. The only thing I've done then is added the rails on at this moment. The wheels and the axle is only in there loose at the minute, so obviously that can still got to come off. But all I've done is I've measured in from this end to here to get equal distance on both sides. So from that side, yeah, let me get it right. From here to here, and again from here to here, just to make sure these handles are in the right place. So there. Then all I do on the back is pretty much cheap. I use the corners of the box here. So this back panel, I get it to the edge of that. That's where I locate it on both sides. It gives it a nice look. So the only other thing I think I've done that you guys have not seen. So the only other thing I've done on the rail is cut a notch out of it. And then what that does, it enables the actual tub of the wheelbarrow to sit down a little bit at the front. Just brought it down here, and it's only probably down about an inch or so. Yeah, so it's only down an inch. So measure down an inch from the top part of here, down an inch here, and then just get a straight edge, go from here, mark out on the back here where you're going to, and just draw a line. I then ripped it out on the bandsaw. It's easy enough. I have done most of this with the bandsaw and the pillar drill, but you do not need any of that to do this. You could do all this with a jigsaw if you're good with that. If you have a circular saw, you can do that as well. The only thing obviously with a circular saw you won't be able to do is like the profile here and here, but it doesn't matter. If you want it just a nice rectangle there, do it that way. You can do it so many different ways. It's entirely up to you. This is just the way I've chose to do it. So the other step is to put these on. I put them on the inside of the rails, just as I think it hides them away a bit nicer. Put it over here. So they will sit like that. They'll go into there. So they will go there like that, and that's what holds it up. So you see what I mean by that notch now? It just, if I didn't do the notch, the tub for the barrow would just sit on top of it, which isn't the end of the world. You can absolutely leave it like that. You do not have to do the notch at all. I just think I like the way it looks when it drops down at the front like that. So that's just my choice. We're pretty much at a stage now where I just need to give everything a sand over. I'm going to pull the rails back off just because I want to give them a sand over together and get the profile a bit more similar, and then just round off these, and it's going to be easier to do off of the barrow rather than on it. Then I'll screw them on afterwards. So I think the only other thing I've done that I didn't show on camera was the base of it. But again, it's self-explanatory. It's just the base. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. You just, all I do with some pieces, whether you're doing it out of ply or the pine or whatever you do, if you've got that there and you're unsure on the size, the internal size, pop that on top of the thing, draw a line around the inside. There's your liner. There's your inside part of it. Ear protection, dust protection. As always, PPE. Right, we're now at a stage where everything's had a good sanding, nice and smooth to touch. Hoovering everything off to get as much dust off as possible. So now we're good to go ahead and put a coating on it. So I'm using a medium oak satin. This is one, medium oak. So I'm using this because I want to see what it looks like for another project down the line. But I actually quite like the look of it. I've tested it on a small piece already. You can see the light there. Actually comes out quite nice. That's with what they recommend, 3 coats. This is one of the handrails after it's had its first coat, so it's very, very light at the moment. I suppose you could leave it like that if that's what you're happy with, but I am going to go ahead and put at least 3 coats on, just because I do prefer the darker look. So let's crack on. Makes good stand as well as a hammer. So that's everything that's had one coat now. Always with a stain, I find the best thing is to try not to leave any excess stain and stuff in one spot. And you see me keep going around all the edges, just brushing it off as I've done the sides or the inside and stuff. If you do leave it to pull up too much in sort of like one spot, or even on the wheel like in one spot, that patch will go darker. No matter how much more stain you put on, that one spot will just keep going darker. So your best bet is to try and keep as even as a coat as you can. It's not always possible, but just as much as you can do, that's the way to go. You just end up with a much better finish. So I'm going to crack on with this now, and once I've got it all stained, I'll get you back and we can put it back together again, and then we're done. Now, I'm done with that. So we'll let that dry off. You always end up noticing other little bits, don't you? But yeah, so I'm done with that. We'll let that dry off. and then it'll get the liners in. So I've got to put the liner in this one and in the other one I made, and then I'll do a little side by side little shot for you, put them up on the end of the video again. The line is straightforward, it is just a garden fabric, so it's just cutting it to a box shape and fitting it in there. It's pretty straightforward. So I'll get back to you when that's done. See you soon. So the planter's all completely dried now, all happy with it. The next step is the liner. Now, I like making things a bit different, which is like this, but that comes at a cost, because it's a pain in the backside to line. I'll tell you, I know. I've already done this one. So this is the first one that I've done, and I painted it with a chestnut stain, and it came out really, really good actually. And that's it, fully lined. See, like that. But such a pain to do this front bit. The box part of the back it's a standard sort of box to line when you're doing like planters and stuff, but it's the arch bit that makes it a pain in the butt. But I got it done, so let's get the other one done. You can all watch me struggle and laugh. That's what it is. So this is the stuff I use when I'm doing the planters and that. Like I say, it's only a thin membrane. It's only to hold the soil in. The moisture will go through all the holes, and there's at the front of it there's a gap that's between this front panel and the base bit. Actually works out quite convenient because it leaves a nice little drain hole which is at the lowest point at the front here. So all the moisture should run towards that way anyway. So this membrane won't stop any moisture from escaping. It will keep it. It will help it escape, but obviously it will keep the soil inside, which is what we want. So I might try this one a slight way different, because like I said, it's only to keep the soil in. It's not to do anything else. That we should be alright. It's not working too bad doing it that way. It's pretty much got most of it lined, as you can see. The only bits that are left to line are the sides. So that should make it a lot easier, because now really and truly all I need to do is cut a panel that's that wide and just a little bit of an overhang, because all the bits that are in there already, the parts that I put in there now will overhang that, so there will be no mud that we had to get down the side of it. Let's get that go. Right, there we go. They're actually done. So that's the second one. That's the first one that I made. Let's see if I can turn you so you can get a better look at them. That's what they look like. I'm really chuffed with how they turned out. I'll take some close-up shots and add them to the end of the video as well, just so we can have a look like. And I know the other half has already claimed this one, so we'll get that one potted up and a couple of pictures of it. All done, all said and done. Hope you like the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the next project. See you soon.